Hey kid, you wanna buy some tech? It's too hot to be wearing a jacket and I hate that I did that. This video is for all the Potemkin mains that have supported me for the ages, because as my content has started to dive into other things, it's been showing a little bit less respect to Potemkin. Even you little guy.
Oh, thanks. I wish I was in more videos.
I'm sorry, bud. I still love the fella and I still play him in ranked and I'm going to be playing him at VSF. It's just that making content and other things have both been easy as I've been letting go of my inhibitors. But I want to do a fun video where we look back at old tech that Potemkin used to have that you can no longer do in the current version of GuiltyGearStrive 2.0 5.01. Potemkin still has a lot of sauce for some reason, but he has lost out on so much as the years have went by, and I'm not asking for a lot of them to come back. It's just a fun little video where we look back at it and go like, wow, he used to be able to do that. But let's get started with the first one. One of my favorites when I was getting into the game. The Red Roman Cancel Garuda. Back in the day, Red Roman Cancel actually acted like a Blue Roman Cancel on hit or on block, so it used to slow down time for not for the same amount of time as Blue Roman Cancel did. What did this mean? Well, it meant that after Hammerfall, Potemkin could do Red RC into /Garuda, and there was a 2-frame gap where the Garuda would hit. This 2-frame gap would catch jumpers and a lot of people that went for offense. However, this setup lost to DPs. But what made it so good is that on block, either after the close slash or after the Garuda, Potemkin could kinda do whatever the hell he wanted as he was super close, and a Potemkin Buster would spell their disaster. And because it's a 2-frame gap, if you went for the jump, they'd get Garuda, you get Potemkin Buster, and if they pressed a button or a throw because of the distancing, they would get Garuda'd, and it was a counter hit, allowing for Garuda into Potemkin Buster. Another thing you can no longer do. It'd give a 50-50 on block and it gave you a pretty good hit confirm on hit. Either or, this was very, very strong back in the launch of GuiltyGearStrive. And during this point, Potemkin was like a bottom 3 pick, and this was one of the stronger things that you certainly had. You didn't want to block a Hammerfall, so everybody was throwing it or 6p'ing it. Something that we used to have, but unfortunately is gone. And as that disappeared, I believe 1.5 or 2.0, we look at a tech that disappeared in 4.0. When Potemkin was stuck in a knockdown, he had one amazing counterplay that was absurdly strong. If you did Heavenly Potemkin Buster and then delayed the PRC slightly after the startup at most 10 frames, you will do a PRC that has full invincibility, will avoid meaties, and then you can strike back with a Pop Buster. And if you did quick PRC, you'd gain such an unreactable scenario that the opponent had to deal with. And the acronym for this was HPB QPRCPB. Oh, sorry, it was also a Potemkin Buster if you're clean. KBB. What the hell? Very strong piece of tech is it allowed Potemkin to have one of the best reversals in the game, as its Gigantic used to be a reversal at this point and was very bad. You're able to escape meaties and able to go hog wild while countering with a Pop Buster. However, you could lose to delayed meaty and you'd lose to gold loose. That was it. If your execution was clean, by far one of the best wake ups in the game, and that disappeared in 4.0. It's doing a PRC no matter when a super is done, will use it. No longer 50 meter, but the full 100, and now you can't do it at all. But one of my personal favourites that disappeared in season 4 with the Potemkin rework. This is one I wish it did come back because I like doing it. I don't care about optimals or it'd be broken in the current patch. I like doing this and I want it to come back. Arrow back megafist loops. Back in the day, Carrowback Megafist on an air hit used to bounce the opponent up to a ridiculous height. What did this mean? Well, this was your optimal way of doing combos. Landing as many Carrowback Megafists in a single combo used to give you a ton of reward. The execution was tight. There's a version of this that is a frame perfect Carrowback Megafist that needs to be done after a PRC. I like doing that one. I would mess it up, but I like doing that one. But Carrowback Megafist was super cool to watch for sure. It was fun to use, it was great to use, and it required good execution from the Potemkin players, but now the combo structure is using as many 6Hs as you can in a combo with Hammerfall breaks, which is still an execution barrier, but not to the same degree as Carrowback Megafist, and they were so fun to lab out. I loved learning when you could use this. In a normal hit, this was also, I think, 0 on hit, so there's a weird RPS. Besides that, Carrowback Megafist used to be its own special, now it's just whatever. Is it still good to use in offense? As a +1 avoidance of 6Ps? Absolutely. But do I miss the old bounces we used to get? Absolutely. So this next piece of tech feels very personal, because if you guys have been in this channel long enough, you'll know exactly what tech this is, as I used to use it a ton. The reverse JD. If you did the JD that crossed up on the opponent, I used to do megafist red RC cross up JD, and you buffered a special move, it would come out backwards. And this was really cool to mess about with. This still works to a degree, however so much of this tech has been gutted and it upsets me because I love doing this. If the opponent pressed a button and you did back megafist, that was a counter hit starter. Not even a bit. If the opponent blocked up and you did slide head, that would pull them in and was a plus unblock guard crush, leaving for an auto time for Potemkin Buster. You still have armor and slide head as well, so if they mashed and got hit, you could loop the JD scenario again. That was the main RPS that you wanted to use, but you could also do delay heat knuckle to anti-air them if they try to jump back from either of your funny gimmicks, as jumping back avoided slide head and the megafist. But the megafist basically had no recovery, so if they didn't press anything while you were still in the air, you could anti-air them anyway. One of my absolute favourite pieces of tech, just no longer available to do. You, the player, can no longer do a lot of these things. The back megafist was fixed to no longer hit the opponent. Slide head lost its armour, still keeping everything else, but losing the armour made it very bad. And I lost that in Season 4. I hate Season 4. Heading into a thing that I lost in 2.0, as I still want to use my reverse JD nonsense, there was a new piece of jank that I found out when they gave us armour Potemkin Buster, and obviously armour everything else. And that was reverse armour. If you did a tool that was backwards, and the opponent mashed while you did something with armour, like Potemkin Buster, Potemkin would turn around, fix himself, and grab the opponent. This was best done after the JD tech that we talked about earlier, but during Season 4 this was the only time you could do it. Hammerfall would auto turn around to catch the masher, and Potemkin Buster would auto turn around to catch the masher. You would lose to throw, but the funny thing is this is still when you had throw invincibility, so if they went for a normal throw and you did the command grab, you both whiff, and then it would just be back to an awkward scenario. This was very gimmicky, and there wasn't really a ton that you could do off of this besides just getting a little bit of funny with it. But again, we lost this in the 2.0 patch where they fixed the jank to do with the armor, doing the auto turnaround, which is a shame. I mean, I understand why on this one. The back megafist upsets me, but I understand why having an auto turnaround to armor is a problem. That was all the fun ones that I could find. A lot of people will suggest like, oh, what did they do with Blue Wild Assault? Or, oh, what did they used to do with like Red Roman Cancel besides that? And it's like, not much else, right? You just spam Blue Wild Assault and that was about it. There wasn't anything too unique going on besides 50-50s. And when you had White Wild Assault, it was the same thing. It was just constant 50-50s and avoiding BS. There wasn't really any tech besides doing White Wild Assault PRC PB. Like, that was it. I want to cover what I thought was odd and fun tech that you used to have that's just gone because you want to get rid of a lot of the junk, which I get, but like, my reverse JD, man, I invented that. I lapped that out. And Joss was using it at one point. But that is it for this whole deep dive. I want to show a little bit of love to Potemkin mains that basically helped me out when I first started this channel, because you guys mean a ton to me. You really do. Like, I know I haven't been covering Potemkin as much as I used to, or doing guides and all that, but that's simply because I've been having fun doing content on other things. So I do apologize for that, but he is still my GOAT. And besides that, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to like, hype, sub, and tell me any old tech that I missed out that you think is very funny and worth noting. Besides that, I'll catch you guys in the next one, and I'll see ya. Peace.